Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here. And today, like many of you, I have been trying out the new round of Brawls, which is 12v12 Tier 8 battleships. And wargaming. For the love of God, why is this matchmaking here still a thing? I don't know if it's just like the cursed matchmaking of Brawls or what, but this is like the third Brawl season in a row where it seems to be that one side constantly and consistently gets all of the divisions that are offered up in a matchmaking queue, even if there's an even number of divisions. Now, I can understand, like the match you're watching right now, there's, I think, 3 divs that are all on one side. There might be 4, but I'm pretty sure it's 3 from the memory of this round. This is like the second or third round that I had this happen in when I was playing Brawls just now. And I could understand, this happening every once in a while, but this happens consistently every single Brawl season. And it sometimes happens in random battles too, but it seems to happen a lot more in these Brawl seasons. Now, obviously, one side that just gets stacked full of divisions is going to have a massive advantage over the other. If you're in a division, you are very likely on comms, either in Discord, TeamSpeak, Skype if you still use that, or something with your friends, and you're playing together, you're talking, you're coordinating together, and obviously you have a huge advantage just having one division on your side if the other side doesn't even have one. But, again, one div, not that big of a deal. But when you get like 2 or 3 divs, or all the divs in the matchmaking queue on one side, like, come on, Wargaming, that's a bit ridiculous. And this happened last season with the Tier 6 Brawls. This happened, I think, the season before then, again. Well, we had the last season of the Tier 6 Brawls, then we had another round of Tier 6 Brawls again, and it consistently seems to be happening with Brawls. Now, granted, Brawls is just supposed to be a fun game mode that you go in. It's supposed to be a bunch of, silly scenarios like we had the 3v3 Brawls and the 1v1 Brawls on, like, Tier 1 and Tier 2 maps. But this season, I don't know. Like, beyond the matchmaking, there's other things about this season that also need to be addressed, and that's what this video is about. Not just the matchmaking, but everything with this season. So, as well as the seemingly exceptionally one-sided matchmaking at times in this Brawl season, why are there full-size maps in this season, Wargaming? Like, I get it's 12v12 Tier 8 battleships, but all you're doing by putting the normal maps in rotation is it's just random battles with really, really weird, like, 2 o'clock in the morning matchmaking now. There's no incentive to move forward or play at a closer range when you're on a normal full-size map that you would normally be on if you're in random battles. The best matches that I've had so far in Brawls have been on, the low-tier maps, like the one you're watching right now. Would have been probably a darn good matchup if one side had, at least one division with them, rather than getting all of the division on the opposing side, But yeah, we have full-size maps with 12v12 Tier 8 ships. You're just in Tier 8 matchmaking again with like a 2 o'clock in the morning twist when it's all battleships. And what's really interesting too is that despite you being in a 12v12 game on a full-size Tier 8 map, players still don't push up. And this is really interesting to me because so many players are, in battleship players at this too, always comment, well, I can't get close because, there's an invisible DD spotting me, there's a submarine, there's CV spotting me, or XYZ, excuses to not get close, which in random battles are very valid. You can't go blind pushing when there's a DD shadowing you. You got to be careful about that. Same with a submarine. You literally have to drop everything that you're doing to deal with a submarine. And when there's CVs involved, of course, you can't go off by yourself because you can get singled out by the CV and then sunk. But it's weird that in a game mode where there's none of this, because again, it's just Tier 8 battleships. You cannot go into this game mode with anything besides a Tier 8 battleship. Players still seem to refuse to push up. in a mode called Brawls. Like, again, I could understand if it's random battles, again, 2 a.m. weird matchmaking, if you're still sitting back and playing, in your normal style in random battles because you're used to playing it like that, but you have to change the mode to this special Brawls mode that's called Brawls, that is supposed to be, close-in engagements, and players are still just chilling in the back of the map for whatever reason. I don't know. Which is why I say, if you're going to have this type of game mode wargaming, it should all be, low tier maps or the modified tier 8 maps to where it's much closer. Those special maps they break out for, well, like Brawls, or for like some clan battle seasons and stuff. They shrink the maps down in order to make them smaller. It should be just maps like that. It shouldn't be these maps where, it's just like you have weird matchmaking at 2 o'clock in the morning. Why is that even a thing in a game mode called Brawls? It should be something to incentivize you to get in close, or like on the low tier maps, you really can't sit in the back, because when you sit in the back of the map on these low tier maps, you're still only like 13 kilometers, 14, 15 kilometers away from your opponent. And what's really funny too is that the first kill I got playing the Brawls game mode was at 17 kilometers away. Yeah. And the Brawls mode, 17 kilometers was my first kill. So yeah, guys, this season of Brawls seems to be, I don't know, a little bit weird. And it never fails, for me at least, that when I play Turpits, I get the big open maps where there's not a lot of other players around, everyone's sitting in the back and sniping. Then I go, okay, well, if it's just going to be more of random battles, I'd rather take a ship that's better suited for this. So I hop in Massachusetts, and then I get the low tier maps that obviously the Turpits would be better on, because she's got the better armor, the torpedoes, the secondaries that can pin 32 millimeters of armor, and she's quicker too. So like she'd be dashing around very easily on those low tier maps, and then her bad detection doesn't matter because it's a low tier map. Everyone's gonna be spotted anyway. But no, when I play the Massachusetts, the ship that's more suited for mid to longer range engagements, her dispersion's still wonky, but it's the good American battleship dispersion, so it's much more of a consistent wonky. So she's better at, medium to longer ranges than the Turpits, and her secondaries can't pin, 32 millimeters of armor, but she doesn't get the improved heal and the improved damage con, so that kind of makes up for it. But no, when I take that ship, that's when I get these, tier 3, tier 4 maps, rather than, again, the Turpits that would be much better in this scenario. So, Wargaming, if you're listening, which I hope you are, because you say you listen to the community, for the love of God, if you're going to do a Brawls game mode, first of all, I don't think these 12v12 modes are really working. Like with the tier 4 one, it wasn't that fun either. The tier 6 one, again, kind of just evolved into everyone sitting in the back and sniping each other, or a bunch of Iseis trying to sync drop with each other. I don't think these big modes are really working that well with 12v12 players. I mean, this season works when you have 12 tier 8 ships on a tier 3 or tier 4 map. So if you're going to do the big modes, do them on the low tier maps where the players don't have the option to just run away and hide in the back. Don't give them the full size maps where they can go sit back at 18, 19 kilometers and snipe. It's Brawls. It's supposed to be, in your face, brawling, get your secondaries going, get those torpedoes going, get ramming your enemy ship because you're so close to them and stuff. When it's that, and when it doesn't throw one side full of divisions, then I think it's a pretty fun mode. But I haven't had a single battle like that so far. All my battles have been either it's a giant map, everyone sits in the back and just snipes for 15 to 20 minutes or however long the time. I think it's a 20-minute timer too, so I don't think it's even that much different random battles in that regards. Or it's a close-in map and everyone's on top of everybody, but then one side gets all the divisions as per usual, so then it turns into an absolute steamroller of a match. So Wargaming, I don't know what it is, but there's something up with your matchmaker. I mean, this has happened too much in the past couple of Brawl seasons for this to be just some random event. Like, yes, if it really is just randomly throwing people together, sure, it's going to happen every once in a while. But to the level that we've seen it happening in the past couple of seasons of Brawls, this is just wonky. Something's up. I don't know if like your matchmaker has a stroke when it does these special Brawl game types or what. But please look into it, fix it. It makes what could be a fun and enjoyable experience absolutely infuriating to try and play in. So guys, that's my 2 cents on the season of Brawls. It's if they could get it worked out, get the matchmaking worked out, like I said, and if you get the low tier maps, it can be some good fun. But it seems like you gotta play 5 or 6 super aggravating or super boring modes to get one fun match out of it. So let me know what your guys' experience is in the Brawls this go round down below. Are you seeing more of the same with matchmaking throwing all the divisions on one side? Let me know in the comments down below. Hope you guys are having a wonderful... What's today? Wednesday. That's when this video is going to be coming up. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Wednesday. If you enjoyed today's video, drop a like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're on our way to 40,000 subs, getting very close to our goal. I cannot thank you guys enough for that. Hope you guys have a wonderful Wednesday. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.